Since the beginning of Fortnite Chapter 4, we have been speculating whether or not Chapter 4 is going to be 1 year long, or if it's just a one-time thing that happened in Chapter 3 and it's going to continue for 8 or 10 seasons. We actually finally got that answer for us, and Chapter 4 is going to be 1 year in length. Not even, I think it's ending around December. We're going to talk about it in just a second. Before we get into the video, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Fortnite chapters. Okay, so it looks like the chapter is going to end sometime around late November, which is just about a year. It's a little bit less than a year, which is very surprising to me. You see a lot of people complaining online. So many complaints are going on and on about this. And to be honest with you, I've talked about this before, but I have very mixed feelings on whether or not I want the seasons to be short or whatever. The pros though, here's the pro. We get a brand new map. You can't just ignore that. So many people get sick and tired of playing on the same map over and over again. You can't remember. And this is something that, man, people forget about this. This is a huge issue. Every single time in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, once we got into those later seasons, not everybody, okay, I'm generalizing here. I would say the vast majority of the player base at that point really wanted a brand new map. Every single day, especially in Chapter 1. I would say Season 8 and on, man. Even in Chapter 2, it started off around maybe Season 6. Every single person was, sorry, I may over-exaggerating, but every single, post you saw online was, we need a brand new map. This is dull. Epic Games is just making bad map after bad map after bad map. And then once they go around and they actually listen to us a little bit, okay, these players are finally getting bored of the map, so let's make it a whole year. Let's give them a new map every single year. Now everybody's like, oh my god, Epic Games. Epic, what are you doing, man? We can't even have our memories on this map. Why are you changing it so quickly? But when we have the maps for 2 years, everybody's always like, oh my god, Epic Games, this map's so boring. When are we going to get a brand new map? Epic Games, you need to do more map changes. And we can't have a bigger map change update than a brand new map in itself. So, again, to get personal with you here, I have very mixed feelings because something that I really enjoyed in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 was building all the memories on that map, and it felt like something really, really significant saying goodbye to a map that we've been playing on for 2 years. When it was time to, and I made a video about this, when it was time to say goodbye to Season 3, I didn't feel nearly as nostalgic. When I was going around Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, I was saying goodbye to Stealthy Stronghold, stuff like that. I was going and I was like, man, I'm gonna really miss this POI. Dirty Docs! Dirty Docs has been here since the very beginning. Man, I'm gonna miss you, Dirty Docs. Bye, Dirty Docs. You know what I mean? In Chapter 3, when I was going around saying goodbye to all the POIs, I was like, Cloudy Condos, solid POI. But I didn't really have, any attachment to it. You know what I mean? I didn't play on the map for long enough. And literally, specifically, a POI like Cloudy Condos hasn't been there for that long. And you could go for all the POIs like Herald Sanctum and just POIs like that. Chonker Speedway was there since the beginning. But even then, when I was saying goodbye to that, I was like, hey, solid POI. You know what? I'm going to miss it. But going around, like I was saying, in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, we've been on the map forever. I was like, man, I dropped here so much. It's going to be so bad. It's going to be so weird to say goodbye to it. You know what I mean? So that's the problem I have. But I don't think, and it's really, really tough. I don't have a preference, okay? Because I see both sides of it. We haven't developed the storyline on Chapter 4 yet. Especially since the storyline's a little bit weak right now. I know that can change. But we haven't spent nearly enough time on this map for us to really miss it. I do believe that Chapter 3 and 4, as the years go on, will be very nostalgic. Just take a look at how we're viewing Chapter 3 Season 1 right now. We're viewing it like it was one of the greatest seasons of all time, which, honestly, it kind of was. But at the same time, you got to think about it. At that time that Chapter 3 was ending, did you really feel that nostalgic about Chapter 3 Season 1? You didn't really, and that's because, nowadays, now enough time has passed where you're missing that entire part of your life. You're missing the Winterfest of 2021, and it's been 2 years now. I'd say give it a little bit, and the rest of Chapter 3 will feel nostalgic, aside from maybe Chapter 3 Season 3. I feel like that season's going to go down like we did see with something like Chapter 2 Season 6, you know what I mean? Man, that was a rough season, man. I'm not going to go into that another time, but that's actually my least favorite season of all time. Let me know what you think about that down below. But, again, man, I just see two sides to it, and I don't have a strong opinion. I do think it is ultimately better that Epic Games is giving us fresh content, because you got to think about the majority of the player base. I would imagine the majority of the player base would want new stuff to come as often as possible. Plus, new stuff coming every single week or bi-weekly was something that made Fortnite the biggest game of all time. You know what I mean? That's something that Epic Games has had constant success with. Why wouldn't they continue that? Plus, it's getting worse every year because everybody's getting that TikTok brain. Nobody has an attention span anymore. And I honestly, truthfully believe that has something to do with it. Everybody's getting bored of the same thing. They can't keep their attention on. They go, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more. And you can get into the whole dopamine argument if you want to get into like the technical part of your brain, but we're not here to give you a little bit of a lesson on that. You know what I mean? But I do seriously think that's an issue. Everybody's losing their attention span even more. People are getting bored quickly. People are in regular life are getting less and less happy with things going on. And you know what? That whole shift in attitude does translate to things like Fortnite. They're playing the game and they're like, oh man, I can't really enjoy this as much as I used to. So Epic Games does need to keep like feeding us more and more. I picture this, okay? For the people on this channel, we have quite the community that really would enjoy having a 2-year season. I would enjoy it. I'm leaning towards, now that I'm talking about, liking it a little bit more. You know what I mean? I like that idea that having the very long chapters. But you got to think about it, man. I picture these same people that are crying. And man, guys, you got to think these people are never satisfied, okay? That's a lot of the player base. And it's not the majority of the player base, I'd say, but it's a lot of people. But I feel like a lot of people will progress. And you know what? They might be happy for a little bit more than a year. We might get another season. But once we start to reach somewhere around season 6, somewhere around 1.5 years, I feel like they're going to get into that same mindset because we've seen it twice before. We've seen it in Chapter 1 and we've seen it in Chapter 2. We're going to get everybody, no matter what Epic Games feeds us. They're going to be something along the lines of, Epic Games, we've been on this map for so long. Epic Games, this map is boring. Epic Games, this new POI that you brought this season sucks. We need a complete reset. I believe that would happen. And Epic Games is avoiding that. And they're essentially giving us what we want. But the player base is just coming back and going, Epic Games, this is ridiculous, man. What are you doing? This is way too early to reset the chapter. I've actually talked to a few of you in Discord, and I've talked to a few of you in YouTube comment sections, and especially on live streams. And people have been coming up with the ideas of having maybe 1.5 years, maybe having 6 seasons. I think that is a very good compromise. I think that would be pushing it to the absolute limit that the player base can take. But it gives us those extra months where potentially we could make those memories, because I would imagine it would be around then. You know what I mean? Around then, where we've been playing on the map for long enough, where we built a really like strong connection with that map. I feel like it's a very good compromise. Now, another thing to note is this. It looks like that Chapter 4 is actually going to have 5 seasons, and this is not confirmed right now. Okay, I've just been seeing this around with some leakers talking about it. It seems like from what's in the files right now, we are going to have 4 seasons, and the last season is going to be a month long. I actually really like that. I cannot wait to see how that plays out, because if you take a look at my past, some of my favorite seasons of all time have been Chapter 1 Season X, Chapter 2 Season 3, solid 2-month seasons. I would like the idea of a 1-month long season. Maybe that could satisfy us. I don't think so. I think it matters about the time period, but then again, maybe it could feel a little bit longer because we're getting more storyline development, we're getting new battle passes, we're getting new POIs because a whole brand new season is coming out. So I'm very interested in how they're going to handle that, and if that offers any sort of solution. I don't know if it will, but going back to what I was saying, I wonder if actually having like 6 seasons would be interesting. I'm on the side of, it's tough. Like, again, I see both sides, guys. I really do. But ultimately, I do want to build that connection with the map. I want to make those memories on the POI. I want it to be a very sad thing, saying goodbye to a map because we've been playing on it for so long. And more importantly, I want another Season X. I was so excited for Chapter 2 Season X to have that battle pass revamp of all the great characters, have all the best things come back. You could have a flooded POI. You could have the agency return. Give me some rift zones. Give me some mechs. You know what I mean? Chapter 2 had some serious potential for that. Chapter 3, if it would have continued, we'd be approaching Season X right now. And it would have been really fun to see. You could bring the Spider-Man mythics back. You could bring back the Daily Bugle. You could do all that stuff. So I love the idea of Season X, and maybe that's clouding my judgment just a little bit when I'm looking at it into all this. But again, I have a really hard time deciding on a strong stance for it. And this is where I'd like to leave it up to you guys, okay? Let me know what you think about yearly chapters down below, because I'm very interested. Honestly, it's very tough for me to have an opinion on this. I see both sides, okay? One thing that I do know for sure is, no matter what, these same people that are complaining right now would complain if Epic Games left it, Chapter 4, to have 8 or 10 seasons. I know that for sure. So, thankfully, most of the people on this channel have a brain, and I thank you for that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'd love to hear your opinion down below, so please comment. I would love it. And you know what? if we get a good chunk of comments, I might make a video about your responses. So we'll think about that. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. On the screen right now, you'll have 2 fantastic Clen videos to check out. If you want to continue watching the channel, check them out. They're great. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you there. Take care.